What is up guys, JC here of Yugatech. We have here a very special list for people who are looking to buy a new smartphone this 2022 while on a tight budget. If you're one of those people that has a maximum budget of 8,000 pesos, this is definitely for you. Mind you that due to the nature of its price, most of these smartphones on this list have a range of specs of up to 4 gigs of RAM, 120 gigs of storage, and a main camera sensor of up to 50 megapixels. Just enough to be our daily driver in the budget. Let's see what are the budget smartphones under 8,000 pesos for 2022. Let's go. First on our list is the Infinix Hot 11 2022, which was released last week of August this year, and it is priced at 5,799 pesos. It sports a sizable 6.7-inch Full HD Plus display with Panda MM228 glass protection. The Infinix Hot 11 2022 packs a Unisoc T610 processor and an ARM-Mali G52 GPU. It also comes with 4G LTE capability, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, and a 5000 mAh battery with 10 watts fast charging. Not to mention that it runs on XOS 7.6, which is based on Android 12. Its dual camera setup is composed of a 12 megapixel main shooter and a 2 megapixel depth shooter, and of course, its 8 megapixel front facing camera. With all things considered, the Infinix Hot 11 2022 is a good daily driver for those who need a phone that gets the job done. Another budget smartphone included in this list is the Xiaomi Redmi 10A. It has a good 6.53-inch HD Plus display, a MediaTek Helio G25 chipset that goes with a PowerVR 8320 GPU, and it also has 3 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. The Xiaomi Redmi 10A supports a dual rear camera configuration with a 13 megapixel main shooter and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. On its front is also a 5 megapixel selfie camera. The Xiaomi Redmi 10A runs on MIUI 12.5 based on Android 11 and has a 5000 mAh battery with 10 watts fast charging. At just 5,999 pesos, you have a smartphone that can serve its purpose on doing basic tasks the whole day. Looking for a solid all-rounder? Then maybe you want to add the Realme Narzo 58 Prime to your list. It is rocking a 6.6-inch Full HD Plus display with 60Hz of refresh rate and 180Hz of touch sampling rate, and is also powered by an octa-core Unisoc Tiger T612 chipset partnered with a Mali G57 GPU. Inside it is 4 gigs of RAM and 120 gigs of storage. It also has a triple rear camera setup with a 50 megapixel main shooter, a 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. Turning to its front is of course the 8 megapixel selfie camera. The Realme Narzo 58 Prime comes with a 5000 mAh battery with 18 watts fast charging capability. For just a price point of 7,999 pesos, it has a pretty solid specs already. Going now to the entry of Poco, we have here the Poco C40 that shows off its immersive 6.71-inch HD Plus display, and of course it has this Corning Gorilla Glass protection. It houses an octa-core JLQ JR510 chipset with Mali G52 GPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and 64 gigs of storage. The Poco C40 has a dual rear camera setup that has a 13 megapixel main camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. On its front is a 5 megapixel selfie shooter. Its battery offers a treat for its huge 6000 mAh battery capacity with of course a good 18 watts fast charging capability. The Poco C40 comes in at just 7,499 pesos. This is a great buy if your focus is battery-wise and an immersive display with added protection. Want to settle with the awesomeness group? Like what they say in their commercials? Well, we have here the Samsung Galaxy T03. It packs a 6.5-inch HD Plus display and a 1.6 GHz of an octa-core CPU. Under the hood, you'll either get 3 to 4 gigs of RAM and either 32, 64, or 128 gigs of storage. The Galaxy A03 has a good dual camera setup headlined by a 48 megapixel main shooter and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. On its front, of course, is a 5 megapixel selfie camera. It runs on Android 11 and has a battery capacity of 5000 mAh. The Samsung Galaxy A03 comes in 3 variants: 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage for 5,490 pesos. Next is 3 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs for storage for 6,490 pesos. And of course, 7,490 pesos for 4 gigs of RAM and 120 gigs of storage. Now that's a lot of options for us. Last but not the least is coming from the brand of Cherry Mobile. The Cherry Mobile Aqua SM Pro 5G. It's rocking a 6.78-inch Full HD Plus display, and it also supports up to 5G connectivity, which is the only one on this list. Underneath it is a MediaTek Dimensity 700 chipset that goes with a Mali G57 MC2 GPU, and it also has 4 gigs of RAM and 120 gigs of storage. Amazingly, the Cherry Mobile SM Pro 5G is the only one with a quad rear camera setup, which is headlined by a 48 megapixel main shooter. On its front, of course, is a good 16 megapixel front-facing camera. In terms of battery, a capacity of 5000 mAh is supported by an 18 watts fast charging capability, and it's also flaunting its 10 watts of wireless charging. Priced at just 7,999 pesos. For that kind of price, the Cherry Mobile Aqua SM Pro 5G surely gives a very solid specs. Now that's a wrap of our list of smartphones under 8,000 pesos. Do you have a favorite item from this list? Do let us know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, hit that notification bell to be alerted of any content we post on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to visit yugatech.com for more of your favorite tech news and reviews. This has been JC of Yugatech, and have a good one.